Okay, here we go. Every single week we have to wait and see if this will launch or if it's going to puke out on me. Oh, it looks like it's going to launch. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel, I do yes and no tarot. I do predictive tarot, and I also do this, the Spirit Guide Weekly, and it is usually broadcast live on every Friday afternoon. I ask that you hit that like button and subscription button if you have a moment. It really does help my channel. I just put up a new video earlier this week, how to heal your inner child. What shadow work do I need to do? What is your formative damage? So please look for that as well. But we have 4 piles in a pick a card presentation, and our date range is, I think, May 17th through, oh my goodness, I totally can't remember, May 23rd. There we go. All right, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. All of the candles are anointed with a different form of conjure oil. I will go over that at the time of the reading, but they are all anointed as well with empath protection oil. This is from a new conjure shop to me called Cauldron Crone Conjure. The name called out to me. It's really good oil so far. I have not used it in magic, so I don't know how long I'll get along with the practitioner, but it has, so far it seems to be protective, and we are in a time of downloading and activation again. So my little empath nation, please do not forget to protect yourselves adequately as you activate, receive downloads, and continue to evolve in your abilities to heal and to see. I ask that you do not pick my piles based on I always pick number 1, I always pick number 2, but instead concentrate, see which one calls out to you. That is the message that you're most meant to receive. We're back to the weekly time of sailing backwards. Hopefully you've had time to pick a pile. Hey, spoiler alert, I'm wearing pajama pants, so you're likely to see those as I come back into the camera frame. My apologies. Sometimes working from home, I get a little cash. All right, just make sure that's down. Make sure this is in the frame. Pajama pants. All right, let's make sure we've got everything going. I'm going to extinguish the first 3 candles with the world's grossest candle snuffer, and we're going to get going here. Seems a little dark in here today. I'm not sure why. Okay, hope everybody had a good week. Here we go. And we're going to get going with pile number 1. The signifiers on the piles were actually shuffled for, so they do pertain to the material within. Let us find out. The Crow deck is bringing you your predictive spread, pile number 1. The candles are red because we were just in the new moon in Taurus, and all astrological signs have a color that corresponds to the astrological sign, and Taurus is red, and your candle is anointed with money drawing oil. This one's from Art of the Root. Like I'm always saying, they're very good for beginner practitioners and then for advanced practitioners, but for some reason they seem to have misfires a lot for intermediates, has been feedback that I've gotten on them. So, all right, let's get going. Your Enchanted Blossoms card is pride. And pride and self-respect are very related concepts. It's not the same thing as ego, but knowing the treatment that you receive and holding out for it in relationships is something that you would need to do. And that's in all forms of relationships, romantic, friendship wise. Knowing that you have worth is where pride comes from. I have action. Interesting. I wonder what's going to happen now. Discovery, decrease, discovery. Masquerade from the dark mirror, which is our shadow work that is kind of putting on a false front sometimes to gain validation and approval. I have bust out of your cocoon. The enchanted mat brings us chaos and conflict and a change in the wind. We have to the moon and back from the Mystical Moments Oracle. Long journey. With patience is a virtue. Something's paying off. It's taking quite a long time. There is movement on a situation that has been, like, you've put in a ton of work on it. You've been trying to, again, that's the concept of self-worth from pride A lot of empaths are frequently forged in abusive situations in a formative experience. And so a long journey in adulthood to truly find your worth, to truly know what you deserve and what you should receive, and to stand up for it. It looks to me like you've brought about the changes that you need to, but that action card is really interesting to me. And of course, bust out of your cocoon. It's a transformation energy. Chaos and conflict is a little bit like the tower. Let's see what the predictive spread from the crow deck brings us. I feed the crows every single morning. I work with crows in magic a lot. Crows are highly adaptable. They're incredibly intelligent, and they actually work very well together. All right, let's get going. So I usually use this deck to read when I'm doing a spell. I check back up on it, so I can use it to read magical energies. Oh, I have the Tower in reverse. The World in the upright. Already we've got a bunch of karmic cards. Okay, and the third one. The Hanged Man in reverse. Ten of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands in the upright. Progress, victory. That is a card for action as well. It is one of the cards that is basically a graduation day type of energy. Seven of Cups in reverse. That can be a spell landing. It can be plans coming into like shape, into focus, knowing what actions you're going to take next. Justice in the upright. Ace of Swords in the upright. Two cards of justice right in the row. This is a communication. This is clarity. It is also success. King of Wands in the upright. Three of Cups in reverse. That can be an isolated energy. Can be a third-party situation, but I don't think it is. Ten of Cups in reverse with the Two of Cups in the upright. Three of Wands in the upright. The Nine of Wands in reverse. King of Cups in the upright. I'm sure that's a very strange face for me to be making. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Seven of Wands in the upright. Four of Cups in the upright. Strength card in reverse. Oh, Five of Pentacles in the upright. Ace of Cups in reverse. Take a turn here with the Nine of Cups in the upright. Page of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, pile number one. This is an interesting energy that you're entering into. Remember, these messages manifest over the course of about 1 to 4 weeks. I do not know why that is. It just happens to be so. You got big forces at work. I was just saying as we started this that it is a time of increase and of people receiving downloads. You may in fact feel, one of the ways that you can tell that your psychic eye is opening more is it almost feels like your vision's a tiny bit blurry and that you're seeing from a different part of your eyes. And is that the weirdest way to put it? Maybe. But everybody that I talk to in this collective about that weird feeling of like, yeah, I can tell when my psychic eye is really open because I can see, but it's like I'm seeing from a different vantage point and my eyes feel a little bit like drained or heavy. And it's not a terrible feeling, it's just different. If you've been experiencing that a lot, if you've been having very vivid dreams, please, please, please make sure that you're getting out and grounding. For whatever reason, empaths, we need healing energy a great deal, and nature and natural beauty and the actual earth contain that healing energy. To rebalance, to be in the best energetic shape that you can be in order to receive more and continue to evolve, it's very important to ground. If you aren't able to get to nature, try to get to the shore. If you're not able to get to water sources, then remember housework, cooking, anything that kind of ties you to the 3D as you're listening to chakra balancing meditations or healing sound bowls, that can be very good. You can also listen to meditations, and this will help ground you over and over. I've been grounding every single day for a couple of weeks because kind of a lot's coming in. If you are in that time of activation and expansion, you should be having, again, vivid dreams, feeling unsettled as well. Like everything's very temporary, like you're standing on shifting ground is another thing that can happen during activations and downloads. This is a year with a great deal of transition in it. The Six of Wands is here, a transition that you have actually been preparing for kind of a while in your life is coming to be, but there's a piece of information that you will be receiving about a situation that caused you a great deal of unhappiness and stress. That's coming within the next, I'd say the next 2 weeks. It may be within the first week of that date range. It's actually I like it a lot. It will give you a feeling of independence. It is leading you closer to a true connection after I think you invested a great deal in somebody who they weren't they took more than they gave. This is very common in empath relationships. Until we heal, we have a tendency to take on people who remind us of the people who damaged us in the first place. And until you heal that particular damage, unfortunately, we have a tendency to have that same sort of relationship in a cycle. Most of the people in my collective have been experiencing a time of like being held almost like in a penalty box. It's gone over really well with some people and not with others. It can feel as if you're being denied by the universe. You were held in this period because you were actually coming to a time of living your life's purpose. It was purposeful. It was trying to restore you to a feeling of emotional balance within as you step into your own calling. Um, it's been a hard time in the last, like you've had a disappointment recently in a personal relationship. Somebody like they were doing their own healing stuff, and I think they might have hurt your feelings. Remember, almost everything that somebody else does is about their own internal world. It's very rarely a judgment of us. But I have this justice energy in the Ace of Swords, which is justice 2 times right in a row. If there is a situation in your life that you have been waiting for an outcome that will restore a feeling of fairness, equality, equilibrium into your life, know that I've got manifesting energy with this as well. The Six of Wands can be physical movement if you're looking at relocating. Um, it looks like there's a contract to be signed. I've got good employment energy around this as well. King of Cups, though, that is try to open up as much as you can to guidance. That grounding advice is very important. Um, you've been trying to make progress in both your physical and your financial and your emotional life for kind of a while, group number one. May and into the beginning of June is finally the time in which gates are opening, everything is budging. It does come with that chaos and conflict energy. The tower in reverse is also building from the ground up. I don't have anything in the draw itself that is like alarming me. It's just there is an end to a situation that was draining for you, and more information is coming on that. And I think you thought it was already done, and it wasn't quite, because this world in the upright is a complete cycle, and it's like an epilogue in a book where the stories seem to be finished, and yet there's still more coming to you on that. The other person, what's going on with them? Gosh, this was so, somebody caused you a great deal of stress and anxiety, and they tried to exploit your weaknesses, and they tried to anger you on purpose. But this all finishes out with the Nine of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. All the work that you put in is bringing to you that which you were hoping for. It has not been on the time scale that you want, even close to it. To the moon and back, it has been a very, very long journey. The decrease in discovery with action. Here's what I think it is. I don't think it's a true loss, because I have nothing else to support that. That decrease, I think, is something has faded in your mind in importance. And it might be a romantic pairing, because I do have the Two of Cups up there, but it is some form of partnership. And you have not been focusing on it of late. I almost want to say you gave up. Like you gave up on something. You're like, okay, it might not be my lifetime for that. And it is coming into shape now. For at least part of this collective, though, this is a financial situation. It is a job. If you have been reaching out and trying to find a position, I have 3 different cards here that say that is a super likely thing coming into this reality in this time. I know I just stalled a little bit. It's because these are all really good cards, but there is a little bit of a mystery around it. And that can happen, by the way, when all of these fateful cards, that's the major arcana, When you're able to manifest, sometimes your readings will contain fewer and fewer details because we do lean into outcomes. We accidentally keep changing our fate that way. But that Nine of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. Seven of Cups in reverse is one of my cards of a spell landing. And then your security is being defined. Masquerade, boy, somebody played a long game with you and you really did think it was over. A shoe, the other shoe is dropping on that. You've been waiting for somebody to pay their price and have what they did revealed. That's the Justice card as well. This is a Revelation card as well. Just keep hanging in there. It doesn't take quite the shape and the form that you had wanted. Walking away, Six of Wands, that's also, it's leaving something difficult behind. What else have we got here? Pile number one, you're stumping me a little bit because I've got a lot of mysterious cards here where they don't want to give me a ton of details, but it's like, it's all very good. Why did they do that? I'm not sure. I think because dependency on tarot can also. Okay, rest and rejuvenation, goddess of the moon, cornucopia, magician in the mirror. Group number one, the least popular thing I'm going to say in a while is I'm not going to be able to get the details on this. They don't want you to have them. You're being asked to focus almost exclusively on maintaining your health in energetic fashions and just your physical health as well. I think you finally rested enough. Spirit of place. That is a card that can be about ghosts for me as well. And like literal ghosts, but also the past returning, an echo moving forward. Why did you stay behind? Magic Stream is a card for miracles. Whenever anyone stays behind, I pick it up and find out what it was. Slow and steady. Magic prayer. Okay, so group number one. There is a dream very close to your heart that you have been trying to make happen. For some people, it really might be an emotional capacity. For others, I think it is really about like you've been hoping to secure your earthly security. It has been a difficult time. It has been dissatisfying. Things like you really, you had a level of agitation around what was going on in your life that it's died down. This Ten of Wands in reverse, it's kind of like you just let go. You just let go. And that is when things finally move. And why does that happen? I think, again, when you're powerful and you can make things happen, you need to quit fighting like the energy that is there with trying to make things into the shape that you want them to. And it causes a little bit of conflict. But I don't think you've been fighting for a while. I don't think it's resigned either wedding. The situation involves marriage. Make the effort. Passion. Heart-to-heart conversations. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I'm not getting the sense that this actually has to do with a romantic relationship forming. And I don't think it's, the Ten of Cups in reverse is about a marriage ending. The Three of Cups in reverse is about being isolated. It can be a third-party situation within a relationship. I don't have anything else that backs that part up. But what I do have is that your period of discontent is over. And it's a little bit like details are flushing out around something you thought was defined already. You did give up on something, and you might have released it just a little bit too soon. Thoughts, toil and labor, journey, lovers, expectation, unexpected income. There is a surprise in store for you. I wish I could tell you more about it. But it's a surprise. It's a good surprise. Are you seriously not gonna let me know? They're not. The Justice card is things coming into balance. there was a very unfair situation in your life. And one of the things that's happening, I've got this again very close in, it's within 2 weeks, it's not going to take the full 4 weeks, where things are balancing out. Everything that you released, you didn't do it for the greatest reasons. Like you did it because you're like, I give up. Because all of this, like there's a little bit of, feeling very victimized and hurt and deprived and left out. It is something that I think you've been struggling with. The masquerade is essentially, it can be clinging to falsehoods, but I don't think it is. I think you've been trying to put on a happy face and continue going forward. You did. You let go of something, and now what really was meant to be is taking shape around that. And it does appear to be about your financial security more than it is about your emotional world. Group number 1, I'm sorry that I don't have more information on that. I kind of get why. Like when you're capable of manifesting and capable of doing, like bending things to your will, sometimes they're like, you just keep getting in our way, so we can't tell you. I forgot to put out my table temp for that. I will remember for table 2, for pile number 2. Is there anything else I need to know? I'm going to go to spooky just because like that almost flummoxed me. Like, it's like, wait, you're not going to give me any details. Like, that's not normal. Are you going to tell me anything? 4 of Swords, 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is a past life relationship, or it is, again, a soulmate card. The 4 of Swords I get all the time when they're asking me to stop, to not press. 6 of Swords in the upright. 6 is the number of balance, by the way. Knight of Cups and 7 of Wands. All right. You took the time to heal and to leave behind a difficult situation in the past. Something that there's good news coming towards you. There's like a happy surprise. It's within the month of May. It will make things seem worthwhile. Like the everything that you had to go through to get there, it's going to start to make sense. But it is major arcana stuff, which is fate at work. And I'm going to quit looking because that had the energy of fruition. Things coming finally into shape and into focus in a way that you will understand some things. Do ground, do take very good care of your energetic house and your physical health, and just kind of be prepared. Good increases around job finding. There's progress in a lot of practical concerns. And then there is something out there that they're just not telling me on, that it's like, hey, you'll be happy, but we're not telling you anything, because every time we tell you something, you try to lean in on making it happen, and you keep preventing the thing that we're trying to make happen. So group number 1, thank you for joining me. If you'd like to book me for a private reading, I wish I had more details for you in that particular reading, but I don't. So I'm going to move on to pile number 2. I don't want to keep pressing and trying to interpret just so I can get an answer and accidentally get the wrong information. I'm moving on to pile number 2. Again, everybody's candle was anointed with empath protection. And I wonder if I've actually made a mistake there and it's going to protect us from having details, because I do have so many manifestors here. But we'll find out soon. You're also anointed with Crown of Success from Inexplicable Things. They're a great conjure shop. I really enjoy their products. You have protection. Okay. Protection from the Enchanted Map. Let's move you over here as well. Nobody's jumping too much, which is always a sign that something's going on. That first pile, something odd was going on. And I guess we'll get back to me in a couple of weeks and let me know what in the world happened. Adventures. Okay. The Loving Man. Oh, Fear and the Loving Man. Your shadow work card is Calling the Storm. if I look concerned, because that's a type of tower energy as well. Having made something happen, sometimes it can be losing your your equilibrium. It can be losing your ability to keep, losing your temper. Tune out distractions. I have never gotten that before. Milk and honey with truth. To be fair, milk and honey. Flower spirit. Your beliefs are right for you. I get that kind of a lot. Be true to yourself is what that means. And also, we can all work in different belief systems, and it's a valid path to divine. What have we got going on here? Are you afraid of commitment, or do you have somebody who's afraid about committing? To be fair, that's a justice energy as well. Milk and honey is receiving everything. Protection and calling the storm. Are they about to put smackdown on somebody? Like, that'd be fun. Let's see what's happening. Here we go. 1 and 2. Okay. All right, I have 4 pentacles in reverse. King of Cups in the upright. The Fool in reverse. Empress in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. 2 of Wands in the upright. 9 of Swords in reverse. I like that. There's such a healing energy around this. What are you being set free from here? King of Pentacles in reverse. That's often someone who's depressed. It can be a feeling of insecurity as well. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. 5 of Wands in the upright. It's change. It can be conflict, but it's like a low level conflict. It's closer to bickering. It's nobody's trying to hurt you, and it's a different type of conflict card. It's something that will be resolved. It can be confusion as well. 4 of Wands in reverse. Page of Swords in the upright. 9 of Wands in the upright. Ace of Cups in reverse. 7 of Wands in the upright. 6 of Cups in reverse. 8 of Cups in the upright. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. 7 of Cups in reverse. 8 of Swords in reverse. Strength card in reverse. So it's 2 8s right in a row in reverse, because the Strength card is the number 8 in the tarot. Yeah, a secret is being revealed with the 10 of Cups in the upright. 8 of Wands in reverse. A journey coming to an end. Okay. Hey, group number 2. You have the opportunity to start planning what looks like a trip or a vacation. There are multiple opportunities. There are multiple choices to be made here. It looks to me as if you don't need to be as concerned as you are. I think you're afraid something will be canceled because of COVID. I think the area of the world that you're planning on going to, where you're traveling to, it won't be a concern. It looks like it may be to visit family. If that is the case, I like the look of everything around it. There is a situation in which what are they doing? You're being given the opportunity to win in something that it may involve a family member. It really might, because the 10 of Cups is also the family card. There is this energy of achievement after a long amount of effort as well. A little bit of an echo of the last. And adventures. There is like what I think is going to happen is that somebody is going to bring an opportunity to you. It's a little bit out of your comfort zone. It does involve potential travel. Probably go ahead and consider that. It looks like it turns out quite well for you. It does appear to be in an area of life that has an impact both in your financial security and your emotional wellness. And your emotional wellness has been something that you've been having to put a lot of work in on. Um, like a lot. It's been a journey. It's been a journey through a long, difficult time as well. You have had to like it's almost like you've had to treat it like a recipe. Like I do this week and then I add this, that the next week. And like I'm trying to put together the cake that is me. And you achieved everything that you're meant to. You're dissatisfied with multiple areas of your life, but like you've come to a state of acceptance about that. You're trying to focus on like you've chosen to like redirect your gaze towards that which you have versus that which you're lacking. And it's a little bit funny because like something's almost like slipping in the back door as an opportunity for increase. uh it will involve a little bit of risk for you, putting yourself out there in a way that you don't like. Like you're going to have to tap into your confidence to go on this next journey. It is an opportunity for increase. And the journey is at least a little bit literal, just a little bit literal, because I have it in a couple of areas. It looks like a pretty firm offer on something is coming to you. In order to protect yourself, you've become almost too guarded. You don't take that as a criticism. The fear in the loving man, sincerely, in order to protect yourself, like you have started filtering out connections on all levels. You keep them at a very surface level. There is something deeper that is trying to take root in your life. It does require emotional expansion and for you to tap into your belief in self more than you have been. Like you've reached a level of acceptance that like, well, it's it's a little tough because it's almost like your level of acceptance has to do with, well, how much does this reality really matter anyway? It's almost like you've stopped investing in most of the things in life, and not in like a completely depressive fashion either. You have a level of detachment that is like you used to be way too invested in like absolutely everything, and it cost you and it drained you and it yanked you around like a yo-yo, and you had to go into a period of stasis in which healing was the word of the day for months and months and months and months, and after that another month. And after a while, you kind of detached from the idea of the wound in the first place. That, well, okay, maybe if I just stop caring, like it'll stop hurting. It's not as cold as that, but like it is like you're like hovering right above the level of investment that is going to kind of reach out and grab you and pull you down into it again. Fifth chakra, the temple path, journey, yet another like movement card. Patience, that's a healing card, and door to value. After a long period of nothing came into shape in a way that like everything always sounded more pronounced in readings, like this great thing will happen, that great thing will happen, and it would get here and it'd be like, wah, wah. Like it was a little bit of a like, well, it's not bad, it beats a kick in the teeth, but it's also not something that I'm going to pop open the confetti for. All of that was like there were little details that were coming in around making something happen. And your level of detachment around investment in your life is like, it's like I said, it's about to draw you back. And that's the best way I can think of putting it, is that something that you closed a little bit of a door on in terms of your personal increase, like it's like you learn to be content in a way that it's not joyless and it's not joyful. but you learned to simply be like, well, this is good. This is good enough. I'll be fine. Like, but it's very, I'm not gonna say meager, but it's a diminished state of being. And like you're, as I said, hovering right above something that is about to reach out and try and grab you and pull you down. And that sounds a little bit negative, but it's not. It's not. It's about things finally taking shape. You'll understand more about why it took this long, because you did need to have that level. You don't invest in every single second of every day. Like if something goes wrong, you're like, it'll be okay. If something goes great, you're like, yeah, that's good, but I'm not going to get too attached to it. If something is frustrating, like you are able to remind yourself, it's time to be patient. This too shall pass. And the only thing is that you haven't figured out how to bring that into a state of balance, that healing, that progress that you made into a state of balance in which you can still invest in the possibility of something being good at the level of excitement. That's what's missing, is like you're not excited about anything any longer. And it's not in a bad sense. It's not in a bad sense. It's in a sense of trying to, it's not even self-protective. It's not negative. It's not negative. It's this hard one, kind of like, I just like this railing against everything, this resistance of mine. I surrender at long last. You win. I surrender in that I just will keep going. Like I'll just keep going. It's like, oh, there's a thing, there's a thing, there's a thing. I'm okay. Like I'll have lunch. Like you're very willing to roll with what comes to you right now. And there's something that is going to require more of your passion. And it does appear to be something that you're trying to achieve. Walking away, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. That's walking away is the letting go. Rest and rejuvenation with caring connections. Door to personal healing and happiness. After a period of recovery, connections are returning to you. Door to spirit. If I look a little bit like I'm like, what are you doing? It's for whatever reason, your spirit guide, your team, they were waiting for this. That level of you overinvested in the past. You overinvested in the wrong things. Now you're to the point of like not really investing all that much in your day-to-day or your future, or like your idea of surrender, which you did achieve, is to just be like, it'll be fine. Like I'll just live like at one day at a time. Like, and there's a ground in between that. There's a ground in between that they're trying to help you. That's what they've been trying to guide you towards, where you do, like, there's excitement, there's interest, but things can't crush you any longer. That's what all of the entire journey was about. Wedding, this situation involves marriage, calling in your soulmate. If I just made a really, really weird jaw clenching thing, that's the first card that came out for the first group. And we do have a little bit of an echo thing going. Situations repeat. We're all living, the reason people are drawn to me are having a similar life experience. That's why we have 4 piles, and yet they can all apply to people. It is like we're enacting a plot almost that the universe has constructed. That's not bad, but it does mean that sometimes like the message will seem like it's the same one over and over and over again. Calling in your soulmate and express your love. Hey, group number 2, I think I understand what's coming to you. Right on the other side of deciding that like you're okay, like you're not overly investing in relationships, you're not overly investing in failures, you're not overly investing in suffering, you're not overly investing, just period. You, Ace of Swords in the upright, you have achieved emotional safety, you've done all the work that you're meant to, and now the thing that you had hoped for is actually right on the other side of this particular reading. So it is within the next couple of weeks. It is trying to be a part of your life. It is trying to bring you increase. And it is going to feel different. It's going to feel different. And the Empress in the upright with the 9 wands in reverse. You're going to hesitate. You're going to hesitate about investing because you finally got back to, it's not so much that you like your life, is as you learned to be, as I said, content with your life. And you don't want to risk it because it took so much pain and so much turmoil and so much healing and so much grieving to get to Ace of Pentacles in the upright. So listen, new beginnings all over the place. It's almost like you don't want to risk your state of, you're not numb, you're not. It's almost like you don't want to risk an explosion. There's like you put your shattered life back together bit by bit with super goo, with pain, with tears, with like screaming at the divine, and you went through the whole process. You got to the point that you're like, I'm fine, I will just roll with this. Like you win. If this is what surrender feels like, that's great. And now they're trying to, and they've been telling you all along, that almost as soon as you weren't sure that you even wanted, and oh my gosh, you wanted another relationship, that was when one was going to try to come to you, because you would finally have like the proper level of detachment from the concept of being in love and being happy. And why do you need that level of attachment? Because in the past, group number 2, you allowed people who were not earning their place by your side to remain by your side, because you see things with a very positive eye. And so you kept ignoring some things that needed to be like shunted out of your life. And all this whole process is bringing you back to the point in which you can have clarity around the value of your life. Like it's not that you're joyful about your life exactly, but you like it. Like you like it again. You found the ways to be like, this isn't so bad. Like I can do this. This is like, as long as I don't start thinking 5 years in the future and like how dire that looks, if it just continues this way, if I go day to day, moment to moment, this is a good life. I'm fine with this. And like changes are fine. And I'll just roll with them because I've been through so many of them. And you were told over and over again that as soon as you kind of let go of the, I want a relationship, where's the relationship that I want? Why won't you give me what I want? What is wrong with you? Do you hate me? Like as soon as you let go of that, that's when divine timing kicks in. And divine timing is kicking in for you. And group number 3, it takes multiple forms on that, okay? But it does involve risk. You are very I'm sorry, that was group number 2. You are very risk averse. Remember, take a chance on you. Take a chance on you in multiple areas and you will receive the rewards. Okay, group number 2, that was a weird one, but that was your message for the week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. I wonder if this is just going to be one of those weeks where they're like, we're not talking much about specifics. Everything that you hoped for is trying to come into your life, and it will feel different. It will feel different. And you're not going to be angry. You're just going to be like a little bit confused. It's like, why now? Because it wasn't a risk to your state of well-being any longer. Everything that we're describing is actually, you're healed. You're healed. You don't bet the farm, hang the moon on any one thing any longer. And that's what has given you balance again. All right, I'm moving on to group number 3. Thank you so much for joining me. Group number 3, the Lima is bringing you your predictive spread, one of my favorite decks. Didn't wear real well, but my gosh, this is a good card deck. Your candle is anointed with Force of Nature oil and also with Empath Protection oil. This is from Cauldron Crone Conjure. Smells amazing. I have empaths almost exclusively in this collective. The reason that we need that, we're in a time of activation and download again. Ground. And when you're done doing that, ground. I have peace, tranquility, yay. The colors of the candles are red because we are in the new moon in Taurus, and the candle color for the astrological sign Taurus is actually red. Okay, and then I have transformation. True love. This is often a card of self-love. This woman has to be looking in the mirror. Self-love is self-protection as well, and it is also self-respect. It is one of the things that people who are empathic, who may have been forged by like damaging formative experiences, it is one of the hard things to learn, and it is a very worthwhile journey. It will protect you going forward. You will reject the relationships that are not meant to be with you, and you will attract the people who are worthy of being by your side because you have standards for your own treatment. That brings you peace. Oh, transformation again. We have transformation, and like I'm sure that like fear almost registers on my face around that. Perchance to dream, build on solid ground, to the sea, yin, that's a balance card too, home in the sky, spirits, that's connecting to spirit as well, trust your intuition. New journeys begin, and that's a lot of love action. I'm sure it's not the world's most comforting thing when your tarot card reader looks vaguely alarmed. It's that there's been a lot about this recently. Emotional increase. 2 of Cups in the upright. Okay, let's find out. Okay, 2 of Cups is, of course, a soulmate pairing. Come on, Thelema, what else have we got? Peace. 2 of Cups in the upright, true love. Oh, my friends, my friends, my friends. What is going to happen next? Let's find out. 1, 1, and 2. I'm going to put you down on 3. Don't spit it out, dude. And 3. You asked for it. Okay. 4 of Swords in the upright. It's a healing card. 9 of Cups in the upright. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. 4 of Cups in the upright. Ace of Pentacles in the upright. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. 2 of Swords in reverse. Emperor in the upright. 10 of Wands in reverse. Excuse me. Ace of Wands in reverse. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Wands in the upright. 9 of Swords in the upright. Queen of Cups in reverse. That's an intuition card as well. Perchance to dream. Oh, they're trying to communicate with you in your sleep. 5 of Pentacles in the upright. King of Wands in the upright. The World in the upright. The Wheel in the upright. Queen of Swords in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. And then the Hierophant in the upright. Okay, so there is a relationship that is, it's been, ugh. Okay, you had to heal in order to make a true connection. There is a fresh start for you. Do you know this person already? I think so. I think so. There may not have been a lot of contact. You may have reached out and they did not reach back. There's clarity and truth available to that person. They are trying to re-enter your life. They may have done something that made you angry. They are not quite ready to explain it to you yet. Try to help them. They're doing their very best. They are now on their own healing journey. This does appear to be your twin flame. It is not quite time for you to be together yet, but apparently contact will be reestablished. There is delayed energy on a union, but it is a very slight delay. This person has been trying to work through something. Encourage them to do their own work. You've done yours. You know what a difference it can make. This will start, like, you're dreaming about them. You're dreaming about them. If you haven't yet, you will be this coming week. They are capable of connecting with you energetically. As I said, this really might be your twin flame. It is a soulmate connection, at least. They are psychic in their own right. And they can tell something has changed for you. They want to change something for themselves. It is not quite the time for you to be together. but the time is like, it's a very brief period before then. Like, this is when you can start victory, broken heart, man holding a coin, Archangel Michael, anxiety, third chakra, Archangel Shemuel, and the sun. Okay. Lots and lots of healing progress. That there is that man holding a coin energy has been showing up quite a bit as well. Your security has been returned to you through your own hard work. You are feeling a little bit like kind of large and in charge again. You feel like yourself. You feel like yourself in a way that you haven't for, I think, many years. And transformation, you really did build on solid ground. So that was the point of everything that you went through, was to reestablish who you truly are. You weren't yourself for a while. You had been so badly damaged by somebody. You did all of the work to heal that. You do need to really continue to concentrate on balancing. You've been a little bit better about that. You can be very money focused. Security means a lot to you. It's not about greed. You have been taking like the time to try and have a better existence just overall. Like you listen. Like when you get advice, you listen and you put it into practice. If I sound a little bit uncertain, it's because I think your feelings are like what you felt for this person at first was not super healthy. It just wasn't. Gentle gardener. And you had to do a ton of healing work. You just did. And now that you're healed, and you are healed, by the way, like it's no longer in progress. There's some transition and change around you, but you did it. Like you went and found yourself again. You're not sure where you stand with this. You're not sure where you stand with this. And that's why you're no longer imperiled by it. You had a connection that was held away from you because you would have relinquished all of the work that you did, all of the work you did to regain your personal power, everything that you invest so much in your people. You always have, but you didn't invest in yourself very much. You have learned to do that, and you are different, and you know it. And this relationship is now coming to you. And how does it work? Differently than, oh dear, Field of Dreams, Moonlight, and Gentle Gardener. The reason I said, oh dear, was it's genuinely, well, strength you did overcome. Your feelings about relationships are just different. They just are. And you've never had a healthy relationship. And now the opportunity to have one is entering your life. I do think it is with the person that you have been hoping it would be. They still have a little bit of work to do, but they're like you've got everything in the proper perspective. Like you don't count on somebody else to make you happy any longer. You count on you to make you happy. And you are willing to change and grow and evolve. And you did. And that peace energy, that home, this home in the sky, that they've always been with you somehow. Like they knew more than you know. And they weren't playing a game. They weren't playing a game. They weren't playing a game, and that is your soulmate. And it's still not quite like, hey, we're going to have a great big relationship. But it's the start of what the relationship will become. And you do feel differently about connection than you used to. It used to it used to be the thing that you're like, my life will not be complete until I have this. And now you're like, oh, screw that. I'm just making my complete life. And if I find somebody, that's great. And if I don't, I will have hobbies. And like you're not like bitter at all about it. You're just like, well, what would I do if I never found a person? I wouldn't want to just sit and pine. So I better figure out how to have a life that I enjoy. And you have done that. And that person, like they just, oh, my ear keeps ringing on that too. They know more than you think they know. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And the reason that's flummoxing me just a little bit is that it's not like they had their own crap. And that's part of the reason that they didn't, like, for all that they're connected to you and super aware and blah, 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 blah. It isn't like they were, tearing it up, getting everything healed themselves necessarily, but like for a while, they were, unfortunately, Ace of Cups in reverse. They decided what was going to happen with that connection. And because they had convinced themselves that they were the thing that was hurting you. They have long since come to understand that that is not the case. Two of Cups in the upright. King of Cups in the upright. Nine of Swords in the upright. So this person's is overcoming their fears as well, I take it. Four of Cups in reverse says a missed opportunity returning to you. And there is watch your dreams. Please just watch your dreams. I've had 4 different cards that are like, oh, they're I'm gonna quit shuffling this. Everything here just backs that up again. After a feeling of frustration, being alone, having to find your own emotional fulfillment. This person, though, afraid because they don't, it's not like they've this is a land they haven't walked in yet either. But they do actually want to walk it with you. You're going to hear more about that, and it is soon. And the only reason I'm kind of hemming and hawing is your reaction to it is different than you have ever dreamed. You're hesitant because you put together, you don't want to risk your everything again. And the very fact that you can approach a relationship like that is the thing that proves that you're not going to. Okay, so that was group number 3. You're going to be your dance card's going to be full. But it holds the proper percentage in your life now. If life is a pie and it's cut into different percentages, for most of your life, you viewed having a partner as being the most important thing. And it wasn't taking up half of that pie. It was taking up about 80%. And you had 20%. And you're like, no, that's enough for me. I'd rather invest my identity in somebody else. That did not go well. And over the course of a long time, it could be as long as years, it has at least been many months, you have learned more and more and more and more and more to make the percentage of your life about you. Healing, feeling good, doing the things that you're meant to, enjoying that which is available to you. And you aren't on the lookout for a partner any longer. It can be a nice idea sometimes. You daydream about it a little bit, but it runs into that wall of thinking but I don't ever want my life to be a smoking pile of rubble again. And that's what I now associate relationships with is oh, everything blew up and there was a smoking pile of rubble in which I cried for a long time. And then I managed to reconstruct my life. Having reconstructed your life, you're both okay, relationships, it's not going to blow up my life, is it? Because it's more important to you now that your life remains intact. And that is exactly where you need to be. It means that the peril has been taken out of romantic relationships. And in terms of whether or not that is your soulmate, they had the 2 of Cups all over them. They had the soulmate card. That person is your soulmate. You just needed to feel whole first. And now that you do, like it's not that you have a negative association with pairing up, but like you're cautious. You're cautious around like, okay, well, I could maybe dip a toe in that water, but if I feel my life eroding around it, I'm getting my foot right out of there and I'm taking my butt home. And that's a healthy place to be. And you don't know this person as well as you thought you did. And that is both good and it is in some ways bad, because they're very, 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 very impossible when they want to be. And so are you, quite frankly. You have that in common with me. You've learned to work with your own strengths and to overcome your own weaknesses. And they've got a little bit more to go on their journey. But like they can, because they're so connected to you, they know you're healed. And it has finally occurred to them, I don't want to be left behind by this person. I don't want to be left behind by this person. Are you okay with continuing to have the relationship that we don't have yet as I finish this much needed work? And here's the thing, I think you are, but like, I think the answer you end up giving is, well, we'll see. We'll see when we get there and you'll be fine with it. And it might wig you out just a tiny bit because for a while, just the thought of what I'm telling you right now would have lit you up like a Christmas tree. And now it's like, all right, that sounds good. But also like life that I worked so hard to put together, attack just periods. I want to step up and be my person. They've got a little bit of work to do. Exactly what that's healthy. That's healthy. But it is happening and it is happening within the month of May, it looked like. That was your reading, group number 3. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I would love a chance to read for you in real life. Congratulations. And I'm moving on to pile number 4. Pile number 4, your candle is red because we are in the new moon in Taurus season. The new moon in Taurus just finished, like the 3-day moon cycle finished yesterday. Now we're in Taurus season. Taurus, my people. I finally did get around to filming astrological reads, so I will have those up next week. Your candle is anointed with empath protection oil. Time of activation and downloads is upon us. Make sure you're grounding, make sure you're energetically balancing and aligning, and you should have an expansion. Let's see if you're the one group that doesn't get messages about please pay attention to your dreams. So group number 4, your candle is anointed with, I just realized this when I glanced down, green fairy oil, which is actually about spirit communications, visions, and dreams, and psychic intuition. All right, that's a good mediumship oil. It's limited edition. They don't always make it. That is by Inexplicable Things. There we go. I have Aspiration from the Dragon, from the Enchanted Blossoms card. I have Wisdom. Yay. God, that is just such a beautiful card. I love it. Great Achievement, the Honoring Path. Your shadow work card is the child I was meant to be. I did just put up a reading the other day about how to do your shadow work, and the child I was meant to be is rediscovering who you started out to be before you were damaged. I have Focus on Success. All right, buy the book. Deep Knowing. Okay. This card is Eva. It's one of the goddess cards from the Mystical Moments, and don't relinquish your power. Okay, let's find out what's going on. It's a very high level achievement. Focus on success. Oh, interesting. That's a very material world type of energy, but the goddess is there as well. Let's find out. Deep Knowing and buy the book. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That's your internal state. Again, it's like everybody finally decided to take a little bit better care of themselves. It's and I'm really, really glad, because for months all I got was, dear God, please, you're depleting yourself. Judgment in the upright. That's being called to your life's purpose. It's a new karmic cycle beginning. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. King of Cups in the upright. High Priestess in reverse. The Sun in the upright. 9 of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands in reverse. Justice in the upright, Temperance in reverse, Death in the upright, the Emperor in reverse. Okay. Eight of Cups in reverse, the Star in the upright, Eight of Swords in the upright. Knight of Cups in the upright, Eight of Wands in the upright, Two of Cups in the upright, Tower in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, Five of Wands in the upright, and some conflict energy. Four of Pentacles in the upright, Lovers in reverse. I just want to take one more. Seven of Wands in the upright. Okay. You do have an opportunity in a business sense. It's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It genuinely is. It's just a no-brainer. Go forward in that. It is likely within a healing profession. It is part of your life's purpose. That there's progress being made in a personal relationship as well. It does appear to be a personal relationship. It does appear to be potentially romantic. The Sun is everything positive. All the lessons that you have learned are coming into focus to bring you more success in all areas of your life. There is a long-running battle. You felt like you lost it. You do. You didn't. Like, that's a perspective thing. You wanted like complete and total victory, standing on the corpse of my enemy, like type of that's your idea of victory. And that's okay, because you're just an all or nothing human, and you always have been. And you got like an 85 to 90% win, and it hurt you to the actual core of your being, because it felt unfair to you. And it was unfair, and they were not done. And there is more coming with that. There is an end to an abuse of power in your life entirely. And there is a romantic relationship that it has an influence on your life. Even if it's not yours, it is something that you're invested in. And I kind of hedged that bet just a little bit, because it's a little bit weird. It is very important to you, but also you're appropriately guarded around it. There is well, I don't like that figure, but it's like you're dancing on their grave. And like I said, you had a victory, but you wouldn't view it as one. Like, because you don't compromise easily on like yourself. And I don't mean like I've got to have it all. I mean, you hold yourself to a very high standard in terms of achievement. Something did come to an end, and you didn't like the ending. Like, you could see that it had some positives, but it just wasn't like you wanted absolute vindication, and you wanted it to be, you wanted it because you thought it was a sign from the divine. You really, like, you thought that would be the thing that would tell you that you do have a purpose, that you are special, that you are connected, that like they would do this thing for you, and then you would know. And it didn't take the shape or the form that you wanted. And even though it's actually quite a good outcome, it wasn't what you wanted. And so like the level at which you were hurt, like you've recovered, but it changed how you feel, just period. And strategy, Archangel Metatron, there was always more to come with that. There was just always more to come with that. They had to do things, Angel of Love. Let me put these down. Strategy. Things could not happen in the way that you wanted them to, because it would have blocked off something that is important to you. They are bringing you the solution that you asked for over and over and over again. It comes from a different source, but they want you to know No, that is what you asked for. Don't think then they got really like, not only would they not give me what they want, what I wanted, but they had it happen in a different set of circumstances to really rub my nose in it. That is not what happened. They could not give it to you in the form that you needed. You were asking for it because something else that you really wanted would have been tanked if it had happened that way. It just would have been tanked. And you kind of know that. You kind of know that. And you're taking your like your partial victory and you picked yourself up and you're continuing on. And it's more of a victory than you know, and you're going to get word on like what the rest of that is. How the real they were never denying you. They weren't. Um, they were trying to work with what was available to them, and they have been trying and trying and trying to communicate with you that this is what they're doing. But you were furious. And you got over being furious, you got over being hurt, you got over pretty much everything by being over it. Like, I'm just over this. Like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not investing. I'm not crying any more tears over this. I'm going to get on with my life. And if I need to learn how to bake macarons as my hobby so that I will have joy in it, then that's what I will do. I'm going to grind me up some almonds and I'm going to get to it. You're a plucky person, even though like sometimes it has involved having to peel yourself up off the floor because something kept smashing you flat. When you felt it was them, the spirit guides, the divine, it laid you really, really low. And it made you question so many things. But ultimately, you are who you are. And with or without them, you're like, well, I want to try and make this place a better place. I want to have a life that has meaning in it. If I'm not going to have the things that I want, at least I want meaning. I want to know that there's a reason for things. Even if it meant that I had to suffer like a crazy person, I want to know that there was a reason behind it. So I'm picking myself up, I'm inflating myself again, and on I go. But it was with a different relationship to the divine going forward. You're just like, yeah, you're doing whatever you're doing. I don't really trust you. That you did need to alter your relationship to the divine, because your ultimate and absolute faith in the divine was actually like, they don't control people as much as you want them to. Like, there was something where you kept telling them they should have found another way. They should have found another way. It wasn't right. It was wrong. You're deeply invested in the idea of right and wrong. And they tried to tell you over and over again, a person did that, a person did that. We don't actually control people. We can insert thoughts. We can try and call their attention to it. Sometimes when like things get really dire, we will break all rules and start bending reality. And we did that for you. But we didn't do it this time. And it isn't because we stopped loving you. It was because it would just for the rest of time blow something up that was important to you. And you know that. You knew that part. And you still wanted it because that's how badly, like, that's how much you want justice in things. You have a 9-year-old sense of justice. Something is right or it is wrong. And not in this punishing, terrible way. You're actually incredibly compassionate. But somebody crossed a line. Somebody crossed a line. And with every fiber of your being, you're like, hey, if you love me, bring me justice. And when it didn't take the form that you wanted, you decided that means you don't love me. I gave you a chance and you didn't do it. And they have been trying and trying and trying and trying for months to let you know, hey, it's not going to take the shape and the form that you want. It can't. It needs to take a different shape. It needs to take a different form. Will you please listen to us? And you're like, nope, nope, nope. Didn't give me what I want. I'm never listening to you again. You suck. Everything is now falling into place on that. And when you see it, it will gladden your heart, but it will also make you a little bit sad. And that is another part of the reason that they didn't give you what you wanted. Because one of the things that kind of would have ruined for you was the view of yourself as not being vindictive. Like, you're not. Somebody did something so wrong to you that you're like, hey, they by a legal system standards, this person should be punished. And when they were not, it was devastating to you. The punishment is nigh. It took a different shape and a different form because they didn't want you to feel responsible for it. You would have felt that way. You would have gotten over being angry, because you always do. You don't think that you do, but you do. And you would have felt terrible. And it also would have distanced you from something that is exceptionally important to you. And I want you to know all of this because you don't need to feel guilty and you don't need to feel bad. And when you do reconnect and when you do reinvest, it will be in a slightly different way, because you will always be informed by it'll help. It'll make things better. It'll be the very thing that illustrates. Sometimes it can't manifest in the way that I want it to, but I can trust that they're always working on it and that they're trying to guide me towards something. That was big. Healing, forgiving, and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay, so that was a very, very positive Spirit Guide Weekly, not heavy on details, but apparently we're heavy on happenings. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Lots